just one light switch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you have a time restriction, we'll go over the most important, interesting stuff.
What I really want to cover, just because I do have to report to AZ Post, is there was the Axon logs in the video.
That's
So
the
I
most
wanna,
important thing.
Yes, yes. So I want to just get clarification on which. So here's what I do know. The video, the initial complaint, the scope of the complaint was on the conduct of Officer Fairclough. So his video where he went to your house was the one that was reviewed, right? Because that was the scope of the investigation. And so with that one, it was found that there was no issues with that.
Yeah.
So as
So,
far as the interviews that took place in this room, the 2 days prior, the initial complaint, where you're saying it was the false reporting and all that other stuff, that was not germane to the complaint. So if those are the ones that you're referring to,
no, I just, let's just go over them. There's only 5 of them.
okay,
Okay, so, let's see. I think this is your copy, but I'll keep it until I give it to you. All right, so C1 is the very first part of the complaint, which you're saying that they didn't review the whole thing. And it's quite obvious they didn't, right? But if you look at this, so in the first complaint was where this arrow is. That's the second complaint is this arrow. And it just so happens that nobody from your entire city reviewed anything during these times. We know who all these players are, and they're nobody of interest. Right? You can go verify when Dice Rose did complaint 1 and 2. You'll find that no one accessed anything.
when we, just so that I understand, because C1 is complaint 1,
No, this is the start of the, these are exhibits. So
just your notes.
C1 is the start of the complaint. So this is when I talked to Dice Row 1. This is when I talked to Dice Row number 2. After he was ordered to review everything.
Okay, and these are the dates here? These little carrots are marking the dates?
I have them in my documents, but anyway.
No, I'm just asking for the
yeah.
clarification. Okay, so these are at the time.
Right where in here, right, there's a huge separation by time.
Okay,
This isn't even close. Neither this date or this date is even remotely close to when I talked to Dice Row the first time or the second time, right? So the bottom line is nobody, so there's no way for him, unless there's some way to beat your system, there's no way for him to review anything, right? So, but that on some of them he did the first time, but the second time he didn't review anything.
so you're what I'm looking at here is you're just looking at the user logs for those time frames. You're not looking at the actual video, who's accessed the video, or you're just looking at...
No. This report is the video.
Okay.
Your system tracks everybody who accesses the video in any way, right?
Mhm. But as far as this printout,
That's just that's so I remembered the positions.
No, what I'm saying is depending on how you query the information, you can query by like the person, or you can look at that video to see who watched that video.
This is the Cydia, and it's everybody who looked at the video, everybody.
Okay, so this is pertaining to which video?
That's irrelevant for this particular page. All I'm doing is this only shows you the date of where we're looking. Okay, These are the actual reports.
Right.
So this is the main complaint. You can look it up, right? It's got the body worn camera time right in there, right? So the very first thing that you notice is that Fairclough, he didn't like load it in your system and then review it a couple times to make sure his report is correct. He just simply loaded it in the system. Otherwise, there would be more listings of him re-accessing it. Okay. So the system is the system, right? So Fairclough loads the thing in right? Amanda Koch is a BWC editor person, right? She's the next person to access it. So the reason she's accessing is because I asked for the report. So she has to make it, right? So she accesses it quite a bit, right? Then you see April looking at it because I'm complaining about oh, where's his stuff, right? Then another Amanda Hunksacker accesses because now the lawyer wants the body worn camera, right? So basically, the supervisor never accesses it all until after. Or actually, on this one, as you said, they never accessed it because they didn't feel it was part of my complaint, right? This is some lady who does something for you guys. I don't know what, but she's not a sworn officer, right? And then all of a sudden you see Mr. Reed. So I know that Faircloud didn't like sit there and spend a ton of time on it. He just did it by memory, right? We know the supervisor never looked at it. He never looked at any of these. So how does he even know what the crime is? He's just basically...
Are you talking about the complaint review or for the report review?
No, for the report review, the supervisor never looked at anything. So how does he know, other than just trusting what Faircloud said?
And that's what I want to make sure that you understand, processes. So do you believe that a supervisor watches all of the body cam of every case that's submitted?
No, I'm quite aware of that you don't do that in this case. And
I'm asking, do you think that is the norm?
I would have hoped it was a norm, but I'm quite aware of it. It's not the norm. In fact...
And why would that be?
Cost.
No. It's a capacity. So if a sergeant has 6 to 8 people per squad, and they're out there for 10 hours a shift, how is it even physically possible?
Oh no,
for somebody to review the video?
That's cost, right?
No, it's not cost. It's
no.
ability.
If you hire 2 people versus 1 person, you could do it. But if you only want to hire 1 person, then it's a cost cutting, thing you do.
I'm just letting you know, right. I'm not here to argue that. What I'm telling you is there are literally not enough hours in a day to do that.
They're not going to watch. They're not going to watch all the body worn camera,
Correct.
right? But if you're going to charge somebody, you would think if it was like, for example, murder, you might have more than 1 person looking at the body worn camera.
Oh, absolutely,
right.
Yep.
So part of the reason that this happened is you have a defective cop who basically made up a whole bunch of shit and didn't do his job, right? Part of the job of a cop is to investigate. He didn't investigate. He just took whatever Jimmy and June said and said, "Sounds good."
And why was he not able to get a statement?
He wasn't. So he got plenty of statements.
No. He tried getting a statement from the suspect.
Right, but as a suspect in our court system is allowed to say, "I'm not going to tell you nothing." And when he came over to my house, all keyed up, making false statements, I told her to not talk to him.
And all I'm going off of is the body cam that I saw. You weren't there.
But I wasn't there.
So
but I
to
heard
say
everything.
that he was keyed up.
I heard everything he said.
But all I'm saying is he went to go do his job, and somebody on the phone was giving legal advice.
And very good advice. It was perfect.
So now, at this point, from a legal perspective, he only has one side of a story. And what does domestic violence laws in the state of Arizona require?
No, so I have absolutely no problem with Jimmy being a domestic victim, June being a victim. No problem. However, please tell, what is the definition of probable cause? What is probable cause, the legal definition to you?
Right. That there was the facts and circumstances, right, are probable, and we put that at about a 51% on that scale, right?
That's right.
So it's the beyond the reasonable doubt is your one in the courtroom that they want to have,
right,
that this probably occurred. And what tipped that scale was this video showing that her conduct, right?
Hold on. Okay, so now, what's the probable cause that Angela was a victim?
So there's not, and that's where I want to just clarify, if you have a question about that, they were present.
No, how do you know that?
Well, that's what was being asserted, right?
No, it was asserted, but it's not what Jimmy believes, it's what you believe. How do you believe that
And so the process for that, they submit those charges for review, for the prosecutor to review. That's just the protocol for that. So if this was a case of somebody being physically arrested, that's totally different. This is an administrative process. We have literally one half of the story, and not the good half, in your opinion, right? We just have the half of the person that came down here and said all these horrible things that happened. Correct?
Right.
You're asserting that that's complete false info, and I think on our last one we established they're free to say what they want down here.
So you're saying that you are not required, you personally, if you were the police officer, you're not actually required to believe and know that that person was even present in the crime.
Well, that would be part of the investigation, and if they only have the one half of that investigation to wrap that up, to submit those charges, and it'll be the prerogative of whoever the charging attorney is to make that determination. And I think that is that process.
And therefore you'll violate Arizona state law and not talk to a victim. Whether they're a domestic victim or victim, you're required to talk to them. It's the law.
Which law is that?
This law. What's it say? That you don't even have to be a victim, just probable. You might be. So you're going to violate the law, and you don't have probable cause that they're even present. They're not in the video. They're nowhere, right? You don't even know they're present in the thing. Jimmy and June just said they're present. And you're going to violate the law because you want to save some money or something, I don't know, whatever the reason is, right? This law, what does the word officer shall mean to you?
Right, yeah, it's the mandate for that.
Right, so and who's the top dog? The legislature, not the police department.
Correct.
So they told you will do this, and you didn't do it.
And was that the scope of the initial complaint? Because it was not understood. It was understood.
Oh no, this has been in the half dozen things I've written that you violated it.
Right, and that's why I like having these meetings. Is
right.
Emails are very hard to understand.
Okay. Well, anyway, okay. Yeah. So the main complaint, the bottom line is that you just trusted that Fair Cloud was doing his job, right? And actually he made false statements, and I'm pretty sure that's probably not part of your requirement.
Which what statements are?
We'll cover that, but
okay.
So this is the first complaint is 37 minutes long. It's the main thing. If you don't review this, you don't know all the crazy stuff that they're saying. Right.
And I'm not going to. I'm asking for your summary of what this complaint.
No, we're gonna actually watch it.
I can't. That's what I'm saying.
You can't watch the body worn camera?
No, I don't have, for something that's 2 years old, no, I don't.
That's all right, I have copies.
Right, so what I'm asking for is at 37:33.
Oh, no, okay. So I don't care if you watch it yourself or you watch it with me, right? So this video is 37.33 minutes long. It's the main complaint. Right,
that they're down here.
That's right.
Correct. Right.
And then when he walked down to the storage cabinet thingy, he turned it off and then he restarted it. So there's the second part, right? So this is the second part. We see, once again, he's not reviewing the body worn camera and then, making sure his report's correct.
Just real quick. So this is just the part one of their main complaint when they come down here. Right, there's
two parts.
This is mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were in here for 50 minutes,
right.
Just ragging on somebody. Mm-hmm. Okay. So once again, Fair Claw, he just loads it in. He doesn't, look at it a couple of times to make sure it's accurate. But there really isn't that much meat in this part of it, right? The same old people doing the same old thing with the body worn camera, right? Right.